Hey everybody, it's Jake Mace, the vegan athlete here. Being here with my friend
Greg Peterson from the Urban Farm.
Greg, I'm eating apple here, giving energy for this video.
Nice. I like how you doing most of the work.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm ready anyway.
All right, cool.
And speaking of apples, peaches, citrus, fruit trees like this,
We're going to plant a berry fruit tree today.
a berry root
Peach tree. So basically what that means is that when a fruit tree is berry rooted, it doesn't have any soil around the fruits, it's only a little bit of soil.
Okay.
And we do this when it's dormant, when the tree's actually dormant. And it's best to plant them berry rooted because then you plant them when they're dormant, where they're going to live the rest of their life, and then they come out of dormancy in the face.
So for folks out there who want to know how Greg Peterson and Jake Mace plant a fruit tree,
That's pretty good, yeah.
You actually asked me in my house for my garden event, we together. You said that you like grow these on the fruit tree.
Oh my gosh, your fruit trees in your house are kicking butt, man.
They're doing pretty good.
No, not pretty good. They're doing extraordinary. And I think it's because of this.
Yeah, you want to see how I'm doing. Yeah. And it's sure because everybody wants to know before you even go down
This is the mace mix.
Mace mix. So I did. I said mace mix. Here's the exact soil combination I use for most fruit trees. Yep. And it's like 10% native soil, then composted wood chips, worm castings, a lot of sand, some lava rock, 2 shovelfuls of rock dust, mycorrhiza. And we're going to plant it right in front of folks today. So let's see exactly what we do. But my question is, when you say bare root tree, that's only for stone fruits like peaches, plums, apples, things like that.
Yeah, you don't get citrus berry.
Citrus come only with soil in the pot. They don't go dormant.
And then a lot of tropicals don't go dormant either, so you're going to get those in pots.
But this soil mix we're going to do today is versatile for all those fruit trees. Yeah. So you guys are interested in how to plant your fruit tree correctly, to have some success like I do. Because the goal for me, I think for Greg, is to get trees that actually have food on them.
Wild plant tree.
And I want to have an overabundance of food.
Overabundance,
Because not everyone going to do all the food is good on that.
Yeah,
So the first stage is
so
the tree.
we're going to plant the lawn, and this is a berry tree, this is a berry peach, it's a mid-pride peach, and planting here in the front yard. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a ring out in the grass,
Right back here.
right out there. We're going to cut a ring out around the grass about 3 foot out from the tree. And what that does, see, the thing about grasses is they will out-compete your tree. And they can kill your tree. So what we're going to do is they can choke it out. Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the grass back, put a base around the tree, put wood chips in the base, and the wood chips do a couple of things. First of all, they hold in moisture, they don't soil around the base of the tree. And in this case, they're going to push back the grass until the tree gets established. Let's do it. My favorite tool right here is called a sharpshooter shovel. Basically what I'm going to do is the tree's going right here, so I'm going to do an outline around the tree, just like this. And then when I'm done doing the outline, we'll pop the grass out in a divot. So you'll see a divot here in a minute.
So make the tree on the side, cut the ring.
That's outside. You're going to plant in the valley, you're going to 600,000 new gardeners last year in 2015, and 500,000 of them were millennials.
Wow, see,
Amazing.
that's what the Great Depression does in 2007.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm gonna go. My grandparents lived the Great Depression in the 30s, and they are forever frugal, right? And millennials are that generation now, and they're going to be into doing frugal things like Okay, we're going to have a 50-50 mix of native soil and premium pine compost.
Yep, there's your girlfriend.
Okay. You can say live in there. I'm going to have this much sand. You always ask me how much. My answer is yes.
Yeah, exactly.
That much right there.
That much.
I would say that's pretty good.
Why do you have sand?
Well, sand has efficient. There's no allowed drainage to happen, so that the tree's not seeing a swampy mess. Then I've got something really cool in the bag. What's in the bag?
What's in the bag, Jake?
As my rock dust minerals. And so this bag is $10 bag from JakeMace.com. And I just put about this much. It's white chalk. It's full of 70 different minerals.
So this is your trace elements and micronutrients that shows up in our food.
Exactly. Yeah. Not only will this make the soil like healthy, but it'll help your peaches in the long run. Yeah. We've also got a container here of composted mulch. Now this is mulch that's already been cooking for over a year. So I'm gonna add just about this much inside there. And that's pretty much the mixture right there. Native soil, premium potting mix, aka compost, rock dust, little sand, and some compost mulch.
Worm castings, which we've already added.
Yes, that's important. It's really important. If you have more worm casting than you need, put it in there. Because,
You never
yeah,
recommend. They're recommended. All right.
So now we wrap this soil here and show everybody. This is what it looks like. And it's pretty good stuff. It's got like a nutritious sandy mix full of worm castings, micronutrients, native soil, compost, rock dust, powdered minerals, and composted mulch. So I'm happy with it.
Fantastic. All right, nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish the hole here.
Yep. And for all those watching out there, make sure to hang with us at the end of the video because the end of the video is the most important part. It really is. Every time we had a tree, we're kind of gauging how deep it should go.
Yep, and you want to set it, we're going to set up a little bit of a mound in the center. Let me show you this. Listeners out there. See this point? This is where it was buried at before. Right here, so we want to bury it back to this point right here. And so we want that to be on a little bit of a mound in the center so that when the wood chips go around the base of it, the wood chips aren't against the trunk.
This right here looks like something on here, but it's out.
So this is the raft one. This is the root stock. The root stock is a really strong root that doesn't make fruit.
Basically, two different trees.
Two different trees. And what they do is they graft it to the fruiting stock, which is up here.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, they've been doing it for hundreds of years.
Maybe thousands.
Maybe thousands.
Yeah. If we put this over here, what happened?
Yeah, you're going to bury the tree until
Kill
it.
it. So where's the
Again, it's really important. At this point right here, and see it's light here and dark here. This is where it's buried at before. You want to bury it at that same place.
Now somebody didn't feel it's already on top. We rooted it out. They just planted the root ball.
Well, that's where it was planted at before.
We had this very rich.
Right. And then again, when putting mulch around it, you want to pile the mulch up here. So you'll see it here in a minute. We'll put this on a mound in the center so the wood chips come up to this level.
And that's till the end. We're going to show you guys important steps at the end.
Now what I want to point out is we still have this base around here where we can grow wood chips. Okay. And we put the tree up, so the tree's about ground level.
Okay. What's the next thing
Next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix in wood chips and straw.
This is the most important part, in my opinion, of my tree.
Absolutely.
If you want to call it I'm doing successful, because of this. It's not 100% wood chips, it's 100% leaves or straw. Make sure it's a potpourri of wood chips, leaves, and straw. And that creates an ecosystem of bug life. I talk to people in my classes about we were all kids, we all had aquarium for fish, aquarium for lizards. When you have that, you have to create an ecosystem in that glass tank.
Right.
For yam.
Well, we're going to say that.
Exactly. You have to be a kid and create an ecosystem for bug life. That's going to give your tree nutrition.
Right.
Before we bury all the mulch on top of the root ball, we're going to add one thing that's in this bag. And this is what I sell to you at JakeMace.com. Very important beneficial fungus. And this is 7 different varieties of mycorrhiza or mycorrhizae. And this stuff looks kind of like sand. People that that's like $7. $1 million worth. Right. So it looks kind of like sand. You guys can see how it's kind of like a granular thing. And when water hits this, the catalyst, it'll create an underground ecosystem of beneficial fungus called the mycelium, or the mycorrhizae. So I'm going to just kind of dig around the root ball and sprinkle this stuff right up against the roots because the mycorrhizae actually attaches itself to the root of the tree and they share nutrients and information together. Cool. This is Greg's department. It's pruning the tree for long-term health success.
Long-term health success.
So speak to that
So
first.
the tree was buried, so the roots got pruned.
Okay.
So now we need to prune the top to match it. The other thing is that in early orcharding, you want to keep the tree small. In order to keep it small, so this tree here, this will be 30 feet tall in 3 years.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to prune it severely, prune it back, and I actually prune them back as part of it.
And why are you doing this?
So what that does is that pushes the grow energy to these nodes down here, so that it pushes out. Right?
And the fruit is reachable.
And the fruit is reachable, right? So
Not a
that's
20
right. It becomes a 6 or 8 foot tall tree rather than a 25 foot tall tree. Right? For this one today, given that this is in my neighborhood and I drive by all the time, I'll just watch this tree so that it doesn't get too tall. But in the meantime, I'm at least 50% off of the tree. But right there. I know, it breaks people's heart, but you have to do this. With every tree, you have to do this.
If I planted a whole tree and not prune it back, and you planted it this way, in 2 years,
This one's going to be much more successful.
we're going to come back, people subscribe, hit the like button, and follow us. We're going to come back to you guys in the future on Friday, and we'll do an update once the guys are
On the street, absolutely.
we do an update, we eat pieces.
Right, man.
Or show flowers.
Yeah, that works. It's a mid-ride. We'll have flowers this year. We won't have peaches.
Alright, so the question, answer. If you guys have a question you want to submit for us in the future episode, you can do it down in the comments below. Or you can email Greg@urbanfarm.org, me at JakeMace.com.
Okay, we're going to do trees today.
Everyone just saw us plant one.
Yeah, and the really question that comes up a lot, and one of these questions is how much and how I go about watering my trees.
It's a good question, and Darren always asks this. I think it's important art form. You have to know your yard, know your weather,
Know your soil.
know your soil,
Yep.
the type of tree, and all those can be factors of how to water.
Yep.
So the tree we just planted in front of you guys, it's actually the bare root and it hasn't come out of dormancy.
Right.
So we watered it once today. Yep. We just planted new, and we'll water it again until it starts to die.
Yeah.
But then in my yard, if I have say a pecan tree, and it's 115 degrees in summertime, I might water that tree twice a week. Maybe 3 times a week.
Yeah.
As it gets more mature, I'll water it less frequently,
Right.
but more deeply.
Yeah.
And so my goal as a gardener, in my opinion, is to turn the water on the tree, close your eyes, and meditate with the tree, and try to sense when has that water fully saturated the entire root zone. And when it has, I shut the water off. I really enjoy my method.
I did that.
try to visualize the whole root ball being saturated, and I shut it off.
Perfect. And for those of you that don't have that down yet, there's a really great moisture meter out there. Just go to your nursery and you're going to buy a $7 or $8 moisture meter. You can get a lot more expensive ones with longer probes on it. And when the moisture meter says wet or moist, you don't water it. Don't water it. And when it's starting to get dry or it's dry, then you want to water it.
Should you let it get all the way dry?
No.
Okay, no. So only when it's beginning to transition toward dry.
Exactly.
Hit it again.
Hit it again.
And I've seen a lot of people out there watering with like little tiny drip line on these big trees.
Oh, right.
I don't encourage that.
Yeah,
Do the same.
yeah, here's why you want to get the tree deep water. You want the basin filled up, and those drip lines are designed to drip out a gallon per hour, 2 gallons per hour, and there's nowhere near enough.
Because you're going to success here at your farm because you want to flood irrigation, so flooding the trees. You want to, I don't have irrigation, but I'm trying to use a bubbler or a hose to simulate that flooding effect.
Right.
So there you go. That's my answer. There's no NLB water. Know your weather. How hot or cold is it? How windy it is. Because wind can suck the moisture out of your trees. You might want to water it after every day.
Yep.
Know how much mulch you have on top. More mulch equals less water. And also know the time of year and the variety of tree. So then also meditate with your tree.
And generally speaking, there you go. generally speaking, once a month in the winter, twice a month in the summer is a good rule of thumb to start with. And then you just have to watch the tree. Be one with the tree. You know, if the tree's a little bit droopy, and you haven't watered it in 8 or 10 days, then you need water. The problem is that overwatering a tree damage and underwatering a tree damage look the same.
People sometimes say, like a dehydrated tree will crinkle and a wet tree will turn yellow, but I've had to go both ways.
Yeah.
So be a good steward of the tree and be there, like a parent of the tree, help nurse it along.
And be one with the tree. That's right.
So our second question for today.
I get this question a lot, and the same one of your listeners. How close can I go to a house or a wall with a tree?
You know, I live in the city, you know, we're urban farmers, urban farmers, and we have a lot of housing structures in the city. And what I've seen, the examples I've seen is that trees that are planted close to houses and close to walls and close to structures always do great. They just tend to like that protection. But you gotta be skillful. I wouldn't put a tree next to the western facing wall of your house unless it's like a moringa or a grapevine because they could eat it. But
That's what we call warmer microclimate.
correct. So eastern wall of your house, maybe like southern exposure of your house. You can put the trees right next to your house. The ones that wouldn't be next to the house is like pecan or mulberry, because their roots are very tough, very invasive, and they make up your house.
And again,
But peach trees, moringa trees, these types of apple trees, I think that putting them next to the house allows them to have some wind protection, some shade protection, and actually the tree can grow into the light. So you go to a house next time you see a successful healthy fruit tree that's growing over top of the house. Usually what you have to imagine is that tree started small, and it grew with the house being a protector. And then once it got to the roof of the house, then it had enough maturity to go for on its own and branch out. You have a nice apricot tree
that's 18 inches away from the tree.
18 inches from your house,
18 inches away from the house.
and now the tree about 60 above your house.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like a super healthy apricot.
And we get lots of apricots off this apricot.
And this is a good example of planting next to a house is a very, very good thing in urban farming. Thanks for being here. If you guys like this question and answer format, let us know in the comments. Submit a question down below. We might take your question in the next Farm Out Friday video. And you guys can visit me on social media, Jake Makes Tai Chi, and Greg at the Urban Farm.
All right, ready to run that over? Yep.
See you guys next time.